If you stand with Ukraine, then you don't care if more Ukrainians get killed. You don't care if more Russians get killed. I do. I didn't want them killed in the first place. That's why I want peace, and that's why I want this to end. And that's why I want America first, just like President Trump promised. I want respect shown to this country. If you stand with Ukraine, you're perfectly happy with disrespect being shown to our country. After all we have done, after all of the money we've sent over there and support that we've given with no questions asked. If you stand with Ukraine, you don't care that there is no accountability for where all of this money has gone. It's a fact. What is it exactly you are standing with them for? Someone else is mad and has declared war. Oh no. Someone is not happy. Re-Written Vintage Homestead. It is Saturday, March the 1st. I believe today is March the 1st. And it is chilly and windy, but the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day, and it's nice and cozy here in the she shed. So I couldn't wait any longer. I'm starting the seeds. I'm using my milk cartons that I showed you guys how I do those a couple videos back. And I'm trying something new this year. Last year, I sold a lot of my vegetable plants, and I bought a lot of vegetable seeds this year. And we sold a lot of flowers, but they were flowers that I've already got out in my flower bed. So this year, I want to plant some flowers and sell the plants as well. So I bought some beautiful zinnias. This is called candy cane zinnia. Isn't that pretty? Got some marigolds. And I got a mixture of zinnias. They're just starting to put out seeds right now. So the tomatoes were kind of, you know, few and far between the good ones. Like I like Big Girl, Better Boy. I do like beefsteak. And I do like Abe Lincoln. That's a real juicy tomato that I planted last year too. This year I'm going to plant some big onions. I'm putting out, you know, every year we try to add more. The girls are outside somewhere. Oh, there they are. Let's go over here to this window so you can say hi. Oh, there they are. I plant my seeds about an inch apart. And I just poke them in there because I only want them to be covered about 1/4 of an inch. I don't want them very deep down there. They just need to be slightly covered. And then I'm going to water them all really good. I'll come in here at night and I will cover them. But in the day, they're going to be under their lights here. And they also have the windows. So it stays fairly warm in here. Once they get a good size, which is they have their true leaves, that's their second set of leaves. That's when we're going to start transplanting them into the containers that I'm going to sell them in. And that's always exciting when they start getting big. So while I'm out here working, you guys, I thought this would be, I love it out here. It is so toasty and cozy, and it's like my own little playhouse, you know. And I come out here and I think, and I do things I love, and it gives me a chance to think about what I want to talk to you about. And I wanted to talk about what's been going on. So yesterday, as everybody knows, it's all over the place, President Trump kicked President Zelensky from Ukraine out of the White House. I personally loved it. But, I've seen a lot of my friends, my social media friends, posting on their sites that they stand. That's the big thing. I stand with Ukraine. I stand with Ukraine. So I've been thinking about that today, and everybody has their own opinion, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And I just don't understand it, just like they probably don't understand me. But I thought, this would give me a chance to maybe explain my stance on this whole thing and give them an opportunity to tell me why they believe what they believe, because I'm dumbfounded by it. So let me start off with how this all started, just in case anybody's forgotten. Ukraine butts right up to Russia. Poland does as well. They are not a part of NATO. And surely everyone knows that Ukraine has always been a corrupt country. Its own people. It's one of those countries that will imprison and starve its own people for the elites. It's always been corrupt. Money laundering, it always goes through Ukraine. But, and we had President Biden in office, and so he was really encouraging them to join NATO. Well, Putin and Russia said, if you join NATO, we're going to declare war because you're going to be infringing on that border. Okay? Also, too, when you join NATO, then all the other NATO countries have an obligation to help keep you safe from invasion. Okay? So they're saying if you go through with it, we are going to attack. Okay, so, and then there was a question asked of Biden at one time, how do you feel about Putin invading?
Would be held accountable if it invades, and it depends on what it does. Are you saying that a minor incursion by Russia into Ukrainian territory would not lead to the sanctions that you have threatened, or are you effectively giving Putin permission to make a small incursion into the country?
Good question.
You know how they say when great things in history happen, you'll remember where you were and what you were doing at that time? Like, I can remember where I was and what I was doing when I found out about the Twin Towers being hit. And I can remember when Ukraine got invaded as well. It was winter time here. I was coming home from work and the roads were real icy and snowy, and I ended up in a ditch. And it was nighttime and it was dark, and I called my husband and I said, I'm in a ditch. The roads are awful. Can you come and get me? And he and my son-in-law came and got me. But my daughters were like cracking up because they were like, Mom, usually you're in a big panic. You don't handle things calm and cool. And, I was on the phone with one of my daughters and I said, well, considering what's going on in Ukraine to the people there, I can handle being in a ditch. It's not a big deal. I was really on their side. Things started turning for me the longer this went on. The longer this went on, we were hearing once a month how many billions of dollars were being sent over there. And where were they going? There was never any accountability as to where this money was going. Were they using it to buy machinery, equipment, drones? We never saw it, did we? That was never brought out. We never saw where all these billions and billions and billions of dollars were going. And in the meantime, people here in the United States were suffering from natural disasters and flooding and hunger and all kinds of things. And nothing was being done to help our own people. We were being invaded on our borders, and the people who were coming in we're getting free health care, free education, free food, free housing, free phones, free everything, while we, the taxpayers, got nothing and we're struggling living paycheck to paycheck and billions of dollars going over to Ukraine with no accountability. I was, number one, against Ukraine joining NATO in the first place because that's just kicking it off, okay? That is just kicking it off. Just stay where you are, do your own thing, have peace between the countries. There's no need in this. But no, they wanted to join and they were being encouraged by the United States to try to join. And I want to say that this war has been going on, 3 years now? And they're still not a part of NATO. I don't understand why. If all of these European countries were saying, yes, you should be in NATO, and the United States, Biden was in office for 4 years, yes, you should be in NATO, why aren't they in NATO? So here it is 3 years later, and let's be honest, okay? Ukraine can't win this war. There's no way can they win this war against Russia. At any time Russia gives the word, China's going to be coming in to help them out. As will Iran, who, thanks to the Biden administration, we have let build nuclear capabilities. So there's no way they can win this war without us. So that is the line that's been drawn in the sand. How much do we want to continue funding this never-ending, it's like that story, the little children I used to babysat watch, the never-ending story. How long are we going to fund this thing? It couldn't go on forever. Wouldn't you rather have peace? Think about how many people have died in this thing. Ukrainians and Russians, both sides. It's unreal. And they're getting nowhere. Neither side is getting nowhere unless they pull in the big guns. And for Russia, that would be China and Iran. And for Ukraine, it would be the United States. You don't see France, saying, let's go attack. You don't see Great Britain say, let's go. You don't see any of those other countries in Europe saying, yeah, we're right behind you. We're going to give you billions and billions of dollars. And we're going to fight this thing for you. It's been the United States that has funded this whole thing. So at what point do you say enough is enough? So that's what's been going on recently is President Trump has been trying to broker a truce. So far, Russia says that, they're willing to listen. They're willing to negotiate. So the United States has drawn up a plan. And basically, President Trump ran on this as well. The United States is sick of doing things for all of these other countries for nothing. What do we get out of it? We, the taxpayers, we, the people. What are we getting out of? Well, we're getting world peace. No, we're not. No, we're not. They're still fighting. They're still dying over there. And if it doesn't stop, it'll be our young men and women who are dying over there. So he's brokered a deal, and one of his stipulations was the United States is going to get some mineral rights out of Ukraine. I think it's 50%. It's quite a bit to help pay back some of the billions and billions and billions that we've given them for nothing. So that would help us because, you guys, we are in debt. We are in terrible, terrible debt. And if at any time China or any other country that has loaned us money calls in their debt, we're in deep trouble. So we have got to get out of this debt. It's time to start having these other countries that owe us money pay up. We've been taking money out of, they found this out with Doge, taking money out of Social Security to pay illegal immigrants here in the United States and fund the war over in Ukraine. And it's always the Democrats that say the Republicans are going to get rid of Social Security because they try to scare the elderly. Well, let's be honest. They've done an audit of it. And you can find that too online. And they were stealing from Social Security to pay illegal immigrants and to pay Ukraine. It's ridiculous what's been done, and the money cannot be found or accounted for anywhere. So the problem is Zelensky, 3 times he's been presented with this offer. By giving the United States some mineral rights and paying us back, it makes us an invested partner in Ukraine. If you would get attacked again, we have a vested interest to come over and protect you, right? Even though you're not a member of NATO for some reason, I don't know why. After all this, why haven't they let you in? Somebody please let me know why that is. But anyway, we would have a vested reason to be over there to help protect our mineral rights as well as that country. That wasn't good enough. He wants a guarantee saying that we're going to go over there now and we are going to help fight and we are going to help secure his country. And he actually wants to get rid of Putin altogether. That is what, I mean, you know, you guys, he's not a good guy, is he? Putin? None of us are crazy about him, are we? I bet the Russian people aren't crazy about him either. But think about it. If we go over there and help them attack Russia, you've got World War III. You have China, you have Iran joining with Russia, and you have all the other European countries, including the United States, joining in with Ukraine. We've got World War III. And you know what would happen at the end of it? We'd have millions of Americans dead, millions of other young men and women from other countries dead. Ukraine still not a part of NATO, still not able to win their country back, that the parts that they've lost so far. So it's all for naught. It's just all for naught. So yesterday, you know, J.D. Vance, God bless him, I love him, and I love that he's got a role in this administration where he's not afraid to speak up. A lot of times the vice presidents just sit on their hands and don't say anything, but he's not afraid to, and I love that President Trump has emboldened him to speak his mind. And he was right. Here is the president of the strongest, wealthiest country in the world trying to help you. Trying to help your country. And you think you hold all the cards. You think you are going to call the shots. You think you are going to tell us what we have to do. It doesn't work that way. And you're being so ungrateful. And to show up at our sacred White House and Oval Office that belongs to all of us, United States citizens, and represents us, wearing a pair of khakis and a t-shirt is disrespectful. Even when our dignitaries go over to Middle Eastern countries and their wives or our women dignitaries go, they cover their heads. They do what they can to show respect for the country that's hosting their visit. You know, shouldn't he have done the same? But you can tell he's just cocky. He's just cocky. Now, you might ask, well, why wouldn't he want to end the war? You know, you've got this wrong, you know, Molly. Of course he wants to end the war. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He wants to overthrow Russia, and he wants our help. He wants to keep that gravy train coming, folks. He's got a house in Florida, a house in Switzerland, homes everywhere. He's got millions hidden in banks everywhere. He wants to keep that gravy train going. And if the war would end, chances are he would get voted out or overthrown. So we got to keep this war going to keep him in power. He cannot win it. They'll never win it. So let's talk about when you say you're with Ukraine based on what we have offered them and based on what they're asking for. Can you please let me know down in the comments how you can justify saying that you stand with Ukraine as I spill all of my peppers because I'm getting worked up on my table. So, okay. Zelensky wants the United States to send our young men and women over there to keep them safe. Do you want your grandchildren going over there? I don't. If you stand with Ukraine, please have them sign up. Please have them go over there so that my grandchildren don't have to. Zelensky does not want to give us any mineral rights. He wants to keep that wealth for his own country. Do you not want to pay back our loans and our debt? Do you not want to see money come back to us that has been given to other people who aren't even American citizens? Do you want to keep making living harder as the generations go on so that your grandchildren suffer? Well, if you stand with Ukraine, do that, please. Keep sending your checks. Keep sending your savings. Keep sending your Social Security. But leave mine alone. So what do I think is going to happen? I think that we're going to give it a few days, maybe a week at most, and Zelensky's going to come around and he's going to sign that agreement. Because it's like President Trump said, you don't sign it, we're out. We are out. You are on your own, you take care of it. We're done. We're done. If you don't want peace, it's not our problem. Because peace is the end goal, isn't it? Hasn't that always been the end goal? We want peace for those countries over there. We want the killing to stop. So I think eventually he's going to have to come around because they can't win it on their own. They can't win it without us. The other European countries aren't stepping up like the United States always has. So I myself thought the whole thing was hilarious. I love that we have representation now that will stand up for the American people, stand up for the White House and the Oval Office, and tell things like they are, and to hell with politics, and to hell with images. And let's let the American people see what really goes on behind closed doors. You know, for so long we've had to take the word of the corrupt media as to what's going on, and now we can see it in real time. And it was amazing seeing American history like that. So, you guys, let me know your opinion. Leave comments down below. Everybody's welcome, as long as your comments are respectful. I appreciate it. And, but yeah, I'm open for debate. I want you to help me understand how you can stand with Ukraine, because I stand with the United States, the red, white, and blue. God bless her. And speaking of war, I have now declared war on this chicken coop because we have a varmint that has really been annoying. And I don't know if it's a raccoon, if it's a possum, what it is. Well, I do know there's been a coon out here because I came out here a couple days ago. I was on the other side, gonna go shut the door over here, and I heard a commotion, and I thought the girls aren't usually loud like that. And all of a sudden, from this corner, a raccoon came and jumped down and went running. Scared me to death. But we've also had some droppings on the inside of the coop, and luckily it's been at night, so the girls are all okay. And my husband reinforced the top here with more chicken wire. We went all the way up to the roof with wood, so they can't get in that way if that's how they were getting in. They can't get in through the bottom because we have these sheets, and this all down here is reinforced, so they can't get in down there. So we think it was here that there was a gap in the ceiling here, but now they cannot get in. But just to be safe, we have declared war, and we have a trap out. So we will see what happens, because I tell you, if anything happens to my girls or Cordell, it would break my heart, because they're just the peaches. They are loved, I tell you. So we got to keep them safe, and that's your responsibility when you bring them home. So I will keep you guys posted on the war here at Re-Ritten Vintage Homestead that we have declared against the varmints. So thanks for watching, everyone, and letting me give my opinion. Like, subscribe, and share if you're so inclined. I really appreciate it. I love this channel. I love the outlet, and I hope you do too. And I hope you come back and see me. It's getting cold out here. It's time to go in and watch some hee-haw and eat some dinner. Have a great week, everybody.